Be bold enough to claim that it is your right to be rich, and your deeper mind will honor your claim. This is a sentence I picked up from a book titled The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. This video isn't sponsored by the book, even though I wish it was. In this video, I want to share something really insightful. Not long ago, I realized that money on its own is a product of the mind. What do I mean by that? I mean that the way we think can influence how we attract and handle money. Then a very important question crossed my mind. What if the biggest thing keeping people poor isn't money? What if it's the way they think? Because the truth is, before wealth shows up in your bank account, it first shows up in your mind. Your beliefs shape what you notice. What you notice shapes your decisions, and your decisions shape your financial life. So the real question isn't, do you deserve to be rich? The real question is, have you given yourself permission to become rich? Most people believe money problems are caused by external circumstances. They blame the economy, their background, their lack of connections, their lack of starting capital. But there is another force working quietly beneath all of that: your mindset about money. Long before someone earns their first dollar, they develop beliefs about wealth. And those beliefs usually come from their environment. Family conversations about money, stories about rich people, experiences growing up. Some people grow up hearing things like, money is hard to make. Rich people are greedy. People like us don't become wealthy. You should just be grateful for what you have. These ideas might seem harmless at first, but over time they form an invisible script inside the mind. A script that quietly tells you what is possible and what isn't. So when someone sees a business opportunity, they hesitate. When they see someone succeed financially, they assume that person is different. When they think about pursuing wealth themselves, something inside whispers, that's not for you. This is how people unconsciously limit their own potential. The powerful thing about the human mind is that it constantly tries to prove its beliefs true. If someone believes wealth is impossible for them, their brain will filter the world in a way that reinforces that belief. They will notice obstacles. They will focus on risks. They will ignore possibilities. But when someone begins to change the way they think about wealth, something fascinating happens. Their attention shifts. They start noticing opportunities they previously ignored. Ideas begin to appear. Problems start looking like potential solutions waiting to be built. Because the truth is simple. Before wealth appears in your bank account, it first appears in your mind. And the moment you change the way you think about wealth, you change the way you interact with the world. And that's where everything begins. After your mind begins to notice opportunities, something else has to happen before wealth can grow. You must give yourself mental permission to pursue it. This step sounds simple, but it's actually one of the biggest barriers people face. Many people subconsciously believe that wealth belongs to someone else. They think wealth is for people who were born into the right families, people who had special advantages, people who are somehow more talented or more lucky. Because of this belief, they never fully commit to pursuing wealth. They may dream about it occasionally. They may admire successful people from a distance. But deep down, they don't believe it is something they are allowed to pursue seriously. And when your mind believes something isn't meant for you, your behavior quietly reflects that belief. You hesitate when opportunities appear. You doubt yourself when progress begins. You stop yourself before you even really start. This is why mental permission is so important. Before anyone builds wealth, something shifts internally. So change the questions you ask. Ask questions like, what skills do wealthy people build? What problems are people willing to pay to solve? What opportunities am I ignoring? This shift in thinking creates a new kind of energy. Instead of being intimidated by success, begin to study it. Instead of assuming wealth is impossible, begin to experiment with ways to create. Wealth doesn't usually come from chasing money directly. It comes from solving problems. The most financially successful people focus on value. This mindset is powerful because value naturally attracts money. When someone creates something useful, people pay for it. But if someone only focuses on wanting money without creating value, the system breaks. The mind must shift from consumption to creation, from wanting wealth to building it. One of the most important mental shifts in attracting wealth is moving from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Most people grow up surrounded by scarcity thinking. They hear phrases like, there isn't enough money. Opportunities are limited. If someone else succeeds, there's less left for everyone else. These ideas create a worldview where success feels like a competition over a small and shrinking pie. In a scarcity mindset, someone else's success feels threatening. When a friend starts a successful business, it can create envy. When someone in your industry becomes wealthy, it can make you feel like the door has already closed. But this way of thinking is deeply limiting because it trains the mind to focus on lack instead of possibility. When someone believes resources are scarce, they become hesitant. They avoid taking risks. They hesitate to start new ideas. They worry that failure will leave them with nothing. But the modern world operates very differently from this scarcity narrative. The truth is that wealth is constantly being created. New industries appear every decade. New technologies reshape entire markets. New problems emerge that require solutions. And every time a problem appears, it creates a new opportunity for someone who can solve it. Think about how many industries did not exist 20 years ago. Social media management, content creation, app development, online education, artificial intelligence services. Entire careers and businesses have been created from ideas that once didn't exist. This is what an abundance mindset recognizes. It sees the world not as a limited system, but as an evolving system. An abundance mindset understands that opportunity expands when creativity and innovation expand. At this point, it's important to understand something clearly. Mindset alone does not create wealth. Thinking positively without action changes nothing. Many people misunderstand this idea. They believe that simply visualizing success or believing in wealth will somehow make money appear. But mindset is not magic. Mindset is direction. It determines where your attention goes, what opportunities you notice, and how you interpret the world around you. But action is what turns those insights into real results. Think of mindset as the steering wheel of a car. It determines where you aim, but action is the engine. Without the engine, the car never moves. Your right to be rich doesn't mean wealth will appear instantly. It means you have the right to pursue it, to develop skills, to create value, to build opportunities. And the first place that journey begins is in the mind. Because before wealth appears in the world, it appears in the way you think. When your beliefs expand, your possibilities expand. And when your possibilities expand, your future changes. If this was helpful, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.